Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another day of American Qualifier action here for the Summit 7. I am Dakota representing Beyond the Summit, and I'm going to be joined again remotely from my good buddy, Lacoste. Lacoste, welcome again to another wonderful day of American Dota, another very late night for you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good again. By the way, who am I representing if you're representing BTS?
You are representing
West Coast of the Croatia, all right.
Yeah,
I represent the old school Dota.
Yeah, you are a lot of people out there probably still don't even know this. You are a former TI competitor yourself. You've been around the block.
Twice, yes.
Yeah, twice. Not just once, twice. All right.
I'm pretty old, man. I'm the founder of the Dota.
The founder of the Dota.
I played Dota for what since when it came out. Tides of Blood, Aeon of Strife, everything.
Oh yeah, that is dirty grassroots of Dota right there. I like that. But here in our modern age of Dota, the game has evolved tremendously, and the players are getting better. But today we have American Dota, and it's complexity versus SG Esports, and it's the classic. I feel like we have this every day, Lacoste. It's the NA versus SA matchup, and I'll quickly go over the whole server thing right now so we don't have to talk about it too much for the rest of today. So things have changed a little bit in qualifiers, at least for Summit. For this go-around in the American qualifier, as you know, we have about 3 or 4 South American teams, some Brazilian, some Peruvian. And maybe in light of the recent success of SG Esports, you know, and obviously with Valve also recognizing the potential for South America, giving them their own qualifier, you know, Summit is kind of, sort of, pseudo following suit. So whenever we have these kind of matchups, we are going to be doing a North American server and then a South American server if preferred, and then we'll be finishing out with the North American server. I say if preferred because there are still some South American teams, like Infamous, I believe, who are Peruvian, and they will still prefer to play on a USD server. But here we have SG Esports, the Brazilian squad. They're going to want to play on Brazil for the second server, and we will have to. Obviously, it's something, as we witnessed in the lobby, complexity not super happy about, but that's what the rules are for this time. And I welcome them to bring feedback at the ending of qualifiers, and we can see what we can do moving forward. But that is the rules for now. Woo! Okay, now let's talk about actual hero picks. And look who's back at it again, Lacoste. It's our favorite blonde.
Blondie, sexy, titty blonde. First pick, material. Well, pretty obvious, man. This hero has pretty much everything what you need. Team fight potential, good disable. A lot of nukes, no sustain though, but if you glance at her titties, you might actually miss on attacks.
Yeah, and you'll probably freeze up like most of you nerds usually do when you stare at a lady. It just happens. But what do you think about the very intriguing first pickup of SG Esports? Straight to a Darkseer. I mean, we used to see that a little bit back in the day, but recently Darkseer isn't that hot that you got to get him first pick. And put it with a Ricky, which is always fun. You know, you can give him the free Iron Shell to walk around and be, you know, very harassing with. But why a Darkseer right away?
Well, we've seen how deadly Darkseer combos are combined with, you just need one stun, one Slardar, one whatever. People were talking about how Darkseer was actually nerfed, over-nerfed, but this hero is getting nerfed every single patch, and it's still that good. Combo with Ricky, you mentioned Iron Shell on Invis hero, really good, but because Bounty Hunter kind of fell off out of the meta, it's not that strong, and Rise of the Ricky, so it's pretty much the same hero.
I mean, I think an option that could have even been better than a Ricky would have been that Tree. We saw yesterday the Darkseer Tree, but Tree, of course, has been banned out first. We will not be seeing him participate in this one. Lots of team fight potential have been taken out of the pool, too. I don't think we got to acknowledge that. Complexity completely got rid of the Enigma and the Magnus. And then lots of targeting towards and lots of respect towards HFN and his pickups there, getting rid of the Lifestealer and the Ursa 2. While in the SG Esports, they're not really targeting a lot of the Swindle Melon classic go-to heroes. It seems like they're just kind of getting rid of what they feel is very meta and just polished good picks, you know?
Yeah, it seems like they banned pretty much what's good, and they didn't ban out any of the like coL heroes. We saw good play from Juggernaut yesterday from Complexity. Not such a good performance from Firo on that Ember Spirit. Might be a lag issue though and ping issue, but still. Crystal Maiden and Ember Spirit, really good duo. Ember Spirit lacks mana. On the other side, Ricky, good hero against Ember Spirit, counters him really well with that smoke screen. SG picked up Warlock, kind of their signature hero, if you want to say. I feel like whenever they have a chance to play Warlock, they pick it.
Yeah, Warlock is definitely up there as far as high-tier supports go. The power of the Fatal Bonds and the Chaotic Offering has provided so much teamfight potential and good counter initiations too when you least suspect. And now they have the benefit of putting it together with the Darkseer Vacuum Wall, and Ricky's Tricks of the Trade is also pretty nice to pepper on top with those Fatal Bonds already out there. So I'm already liking the cohesion between SG's lineup and how they're going to be able to do good team fights together. Curious how the laning phase is going to go for them. Picking up the Ricky early, Complexity can kind of prepare for anything that's going to be a bit fishy there. I don't know if they're going to go full-out aggression. We've been seeing a lot of aggro lanes, too, from some of these South American teams. So I imagine that's not going to follow suit, what they picked up the Darkseer, but things can change with these upcoming picks from Complexity. And an IO is actually going to be coming out. This is a Complexity classic, of course, something Z-Freak plays very often and plays very well, too.
Yeah, that's correct. We saw yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, again, IO and the Crystal Maiden combo. They had
10 seconds remaining.
that in one game. As you mentioned, Darkseer, Warlock, it's already a deadly combo. Remaining. Fatal Bonds, Rock, Vacuum Wall, and whatever they pick right now, there it is. SG Esports, also like classic hero for mid. Really good in the laning stage against Ember Spirit. Can really go well for Lina if he plays it right. I mean, you can just force Ember Spirit to go to jungle. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we actually just saw this. Was it yesterday when Complexity played Midas Club Elite, the Bristleback IO duo, and it even had the Ember Spirit and a Crystal Bait, and all they would love to finish out this lineup with would have been that Legion Commander, but it had already been banned out. But this is looking pretty comfortable here for Complexity, something very fresh and new. And, you know, I don't know, core pickup for SG, you got to consider possibly grabbing that, what is it, Silver Edge candidate, you know?
Yeah, well, that's, Bristleback was playing against Ricky because I mentioned how both of them counter each other. So, Silver Edge carrier, Lina can build one. Usually she goes for that Shadow Blade. But what else is there that can build up Silver Edge?
We could see a Slark.
Slark.
Yeah, yes. Slark could come out and be pretty tasty here for SG, but I could also see Complexity just banning it here and now and not even giving them the option. Outside of that, yeah, it becomes a bit more tricky.
Yeah, Slark. Maybe it will slip away from them.
Weaver's going to go.
Complexity's turn to pick.
One that is able to kind of rip through the armor, I suppose.
Why Slark first came to my mind? Because he can go out of the Crystal Maiden spells, Ember Spirit spells, and Iron Bristleback can't really do anything to him.
Remaining.
Plus, he has Iron Shell on him. So even if Bristleback goes to like super late game, he will just be pretty much useless against Slark because he will feed on agility on him. So few hits in and out, and that's it. I mean, all these heroes, Crystal Maiden, Ember Spirit, they don't buy anything like Hex or any other disable. So this is why Slark is such a good pick.
One way to get for Swindle, he's had some comfort in getting that Legion Commander, but we also seen him pick up the Bat Rider. Abaddon's out there. Maybe could help a bit. I don't know if I've seen Swindle pick it. Jakiro, though. All right, that's a funky little Complexity pick that we see sometimes pop out. I remember a certain mid-lane Jakiro Complexity strat that didn't find the biggest of success, but here it's going to get picked up as... I don't know, as part of a dual try off lane. What is your impression about this Jakiro grab?
5 seconds remaining.
It might be an off-lane Jakiro with the Crystal Maiden. He has enough mana to sustain on the lane in terms of trying to spam dual breath, but it might be Io with him on bottom. We'll see how it's gonna work. Or what they can do is put an aggro tri-lane, like Bristleback Io on off lane, Ember Spirit mid, and Jakiro being on the safe lane, Crystal Maiden starting in jungle. So maybe that's the best option for them. They can fight on the safe lane because Warlock good lane support, but Ricky is not that good early levels, especially if you have a sentry placed. He usually doesn't buy any stout shield, has Orb of Venom, and he takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does feel like they want that Jakiro to have a matchup. Something like against the Darkseer would be pretty swell. It's easy to kind of just liquid fire him out from the lane, or being able to zone back any precious core. He's very good at harassing and very tanky too, so the poking power of the supports isn't too threatening for him as long as he has a decent amount of regen to fall back on. And, well, there is the core of the meta almost. HFN being able to snag up the Lycan. So we have a little bit of pushing here. Lycan Wolves with Ion Shell is pretty damn fun. And now you got that all-out Io, Crystal Maiden. They're going to be quivering when this Lycan is on the prowl.
Yeah, no escape mechanism for those two heroes. I mean, Crystal Maiden has a bite, and that's it.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky there. What do you think, now that we have our full 5-man hero spread between both teams for game number 1 to lead things out? I know it is on the North American server, but would you give Complexity the game 1 advantage based on their draft, or are you liking SG rounding things out, picking up that Lycan?
10 seconds remaining.
They don't have. I was expecting something else like Slark, but I want to see how Lycan works. It only has Iron Shell on him, and that's pretty much it. I was expecting something like with a big stun, something with like more disable, maybe. But overall, I like SG Esports lineup more. They have good push. They have good save, good canceling fight heroes. On the other side, Complexity with also have good push from Jakiro, and what else is there? Let me just check. Yeah, well, Bristleback hits towers really good. Both teams also have good Roche lineups, so we can expect some early Roche chance around 10-12 minute mark.
We are starting with, unfortunately, a little bit of a pause as SG is going to be calling out to the admin for something. We'll be sitting backseat for this one, but it looks like we could be putting ourselves in a bit of a remake situation. Starting out early, doesn't look like anything is going to be too fishy as far as who's set up with what hero here. Tavo, again, going to be sporting his off-lane Darkseer. He's been actually really making a good name for himself since Kiev, and even through these qualifiers has kind of stepped up with some good plays. HFN, of course, on the Lycan, ADR on the Lina, Cat on the Warlock, and King RD, of course, going to be on that Ricky. Looks like we're going to be going for a disconnect, guys, so have some patience here. Let me throw this over to the wait screen, and I will turn on some light chill jams, and Cost will just jump ship here and get into a new game.
Sounds
delays, as always. What can you do? You play any pubs today?
Yeah, I played one pub before I joined this game. Was kind of busy today. Pudge again.
Pudge again?
Yeah, I have like six win streak with Pudge right now.
Do you always play like a support when you play on your matchmaking games, or do you vary it up on whatever the team needs?
Well, I usually kind of like to play either off lane or just roaming support.
I like roaming support and support too. That just feels right. All right, looks like our lobby is supposed to be rehosted here, but I can't see
it
up yet. It is? I can't see it. Hold on here.
Let me just invite you to a party. Not the party you are expecting.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
No cocaine though, just join. Oh, maybe Brazilians have some.
How do I join the lobby off of you?
Well, you should be able to join the lobby when I invite you to a party. Yes, no?
How, though? How?
Well,
How
it should be instant.
I'm not in it, though, that's for sure. Why is it not listed?
Let me just wait.
Just a second.
Okay, so I don't even see the game right now anymore.
Yeah. What is happening? Oh
Refresh.
Goodness! I just want to cast some Dota!
Yeah, this is not working. I'll just restart my Dota as well.
Looks like I'll have to do the same. All right, guys, I want to apologize ahead of time. We wanted to get underway, but apparently the routing is wrong. I don't even know
what that means.
I don't even know what that means, but the routing ain't good, and we're gonna have to find the correct route and get into the game here.
I always, man, love to watch this SG team playing. Like, what do you feel about it?
I'm sorry, I just restarted Dota.
How do you feel about Team SG?
Oh, that's...
Why am I...
I know why. It's because we have to make it all pick. There it is.
Oh, that's why. So there's no captain's mode. All right.
All right, let's get this.
Come in.
All right, you in? Get in? Hop on our slot?
Yes, all good.
Oh, okay, we're all here. All the players are here. We're waiting for all casters to get in. Admin thanking us for our patience. We thank you at home for your patience here. And it looks like we are going to be hopping back into the game. Let me put it back up on your screen. We can keep the chill jams going for just a little bit.
Yeah, the game is going to start in 1 minute.
Crystal Maiden.
In the spirit.
All right. I'll put that. Are we going to have to go through the versus screen and the tower screen thing again? We are, aren't we?
I hope not. I hope... I mean, that loading screen where, like, it looks like Tekken. It's so shitty, man. Why did they make that? And those towers...
I mean, it's kind of high. I think you just have to make it more high.
It doesn't look good. I mean, you can't recognize the heroes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. It is Complexity versus SG Esports. Game number 1.
Let's get it on.
And this is their towers. Moo, Z-Freak, Demon, Firo, Swindle, yay!
Yeah, these towers need some Viagra.
Yeah, they do.
They're not growing, man.
They need a little bit more love in here, but look at that. When you get into the game, you actually get to see how cool those towers really are. All right, and it looks like we are gonna get underway. Let's do it. Already moving out early, King RD on his Ricky. Going to go for that sweet high ground ward, I imagine. This is a favorite of mine as well. Providing you with a little bit of deep intel so you can see who the hell is going to be in that off lane. If Complexity are going to be going aggro, where this Wisp is going to go. And as you can see, they already know Moo and Z-Freak are in the area. So you can expect possibly Complexity to be putting that extra bit of attention towards that bottom lane. SG will probably begin to prepare appropriately. Agree? Disagree?
I totally agree. I was just thinking about Poorman's Shield on Lycan, but didn't say anything. I mean, that hero just buys PMS and goes to a lane, has so much regen with Feral Impulse, and with Warlock heal, doesn't have to go heal unless he dies. That's how good hero is right now.
I mean, he will need the extra healing, though. You're going to have quills going all over the place. He'll probably have to get a wand pretty early, you know? Uh-oh.
Well, it's a must-have. But when he gets his first 200 gold, he's just gonna buy magic stick from the side shop.
The battle begins.
But I feel so bad for the guy who owns the side shop. Like, you don't have anything to sell anymore. In the next 2 or 3 patches, it's gonna be like side shop. All right, we're not working. There's gonna be like boots of speed, and that's it.
If they didn't sell the magic wand in the side shop, I wonder how popular Offlane Bristle and Batrider would be again. You're like committed into the early laning phase, and then you can't even bail yourself out with going in on a magic stick to take advantage of all those sweet stacks. Luckily for SG, once they see the laning setup, which I'm sure they were already prepared for, they will make those item adjustments, and as you mentioned, they'll go to that jolly guy on the side and be able to pick up the items necessary Top lane, they're going to be having the Riki here to harass Demon quite a bit, keeping his attention away from the lane so Tavo can do his thing. And as you were saying during the drafting phase, it is going to be Jakiro and Crystal Maiden kind of hanging around up here.
Yeah, well, Jimmy had one center ward. I didn't see where he placed it, or it got devoted already. Well, Riki still has
That's
one.
cool. They're just giving him the Iron Shell to quickly take out the pull camp.
He's almost level 2 right now.
Yeah, he gets the XP and Darkseer gets the gold. That's a pretty nice partnership they got going in that top lane. Ooh, bottom lane, HFN is already feeling a bit of the pain coming out from this tag team down here. They're going to have to just kind of respect it. Cat's doing his thing. He's going to be able to go for a double pull through here. Not too much contention. Oh, never mind. It is going to be Z-Freak who steps in and pulls back that big camp and makes that pull a bit more difficult. In fact, turns it into a single pull, I believe, and could be a bit troublesome for SG to work from right now. But they're going pretty deep. They're happy to actually totally get in the face of this Warlock and disrupt all of the attempted creep equilibrium.
Yeah, Bristleback is already on the camp, diving behind the tower, just farming that creep wave, and he's gonna farm the neutrals as well.
Death's bounty.
What surge is this?
King RD very deep, is happy to go steal the bounty room, but Z-Freak is going to be able to do the same. You take ours, we'll take yours. King RD also going to be able to snag up the regen rune right in front of Moo. That's when Z-Freak jumps in with the tether, and I think that is when SG are going to have to turn and run. Coils can start flying out and start stacking on you faster than you anticipate.
Well, mid matchup going in favor of Lina, of course. 13 against 9 CS, and Ember Spirit already committed to a shrine. Doesn't have enough gold for bottle, 200 missing, so he'll just be really careful. Gonna run back to the tier 3 tower shrine and come back to the lane, I guess.
They also had to use that bottom shrine too. Demon currently getting stabbed up a bit. They have a early stack actually in that ancient camp for now, and King RD is going to be able to take away the bigger creep from that camp too. So he's already becoming quite the headache here for Complexity and for Demon in particular. Demon now forced to hide out behind this tower. He's drawing out exactly where King RD could be coming. And
he's gonna get him.
He's going in deep. He smells blood. Demon actually managed to eat his way through the tree and will be able to find his way out from trouble. King RD.
But King RD
he's gonna dive in for it. He needs it. He gets it. Oh man, unmerciful. Demon
One for free.
was stalked that whole time.
Oh, what a play. I mean, I thought Demon was ahead because of those trees that he ate, but Riki had the tangos as well and ate 2 trees to get in front of him, actually.
Very unfortunate for Demon to be able to make it away, but great for King RD. His Riki just seriously all over the place, putting in the mileage in this early game, and now going to be heading towards the bottom lane, giving SG the numbers advantage if they wanted to make an attempt at kind of swarming in a hold of Z-Freak. Recognizes it's 4 minutes and wanted to be able to make the dash out. He's going to have to link together with Moo, but I don't know if they're going to be able to bail him. They need a bit more. The needle is ticking. Is it going to be enough that the Fatal Bond? It should be good. They'll get the finish there, and it's going to be SG leading out the start 2-0.
That Riki has so much damage when hitting from behind, and especially when Howl is used, that's an extra 15 damage on level 2.
We saw the life just shred away from that Wisp. It's pretty ridiculous here. But they're looking to fight back and get themselves on the board. Demon and Z-Freak are both smoked up towards this mid lane, where they're going to be handing off to Firo a salve for now, but they have other ideas. They will take to the river and begin to migrate all the way over. They're hoping to get a hit onto ADR here. We'll see if they're going to be able to get it. King RD is nearby on the Riki, but the move has been made, and the Frostbite has been set up nicely from Demon. The LSA comes out, but it's not going to find the best connection, and it's going to be a quick hit-and-run job coming out from Complexity. King RD, though, currently stalking Demon, who's looking to go deep and probably plant a ward. This one will get quickly denied, though. I mean, King RD is just like, 100 gold if you want to plant that thing down. 100 gold for me.
Oh, Jimmy just
Where's
running
it going?
away.
He's just going to follow him the whole way. And eventually, Lina comes over and, actually manages to sidestep the LSA, but the chase will be there, and she'll be able to get the finish with the Dragon Slave.
Well, at least he didn't place a ward. Maybe he noticed that Ricky was on his back because Ricky has boots and he doesn't. So you can actually sometimes feel that hero is there if he like moves a little bit in front of you. It seems like you
stutter step. You get that stutter step.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was some paranormal activity right there. Something's going on. And yeah, maybe he just got those kind of that little bit of inkling. Demon though is just not happy about King RD whatsoever. They were exchanging a little bit in the lobby. Maybe that led to this, but whatever it may be, King RD is happy to kind of keep that Demon in check. Shoves him all the way back towards needing some heals. And we'll continue to stalk about. They actually put a scan down in that area. He is not there at the moment, but we'll continue to wait for him just outside the gate.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about top lane. Darkseer getting 30 CS against that Jakiro. Jakiro not that popular pick. He has enough damage with Dual Breath and Liquid Fire just to kill that creep that Iron Shell is casted on. It dies so quickly. And now the push begins. Level 4 Liquid Fire.
Yeah, that thing will continue to come out every few moments and just allow them to be able to push on forward with getting those objectives down. It is quite deceptive on how much slow it does apply.
What I feel about Jakiro is if your team is ahead and there's no Treant Protector in other team, this hero is the best hero for pushing, actually. You can just do this all day.
Monster stackage happening here in typical Complexity Bristleback fashion. King RD and Cat, both kind of privy to it a bit, are soaking up the nearby XP and slowly converging over. Now they're going to look to make their strike. The Fatal Binds has been hit, and now they're going to be dishing out the dust, though, on their retreat. Z-Freak getting a lot of that damage. And now the Shapeshift comes out, and HFN goes on the prowl, looking to hunt down any Stranglers. He turns for the Courier instead, and we'll get that finish. The Fatal Bond will pop Z-Freak, and he thinks about running inside to go for Moo, but Moo is going to hit the showers and be fine. Over on the other side, Tabo still trading it out with Swindle Melons, but that hard commitment down the mid lane from SG will give him a little profit.
Yeah, Ricky could just sit there and get some XP from the other side if he came from the shrine, but he was on top and got hit by the balls from Wisp, and they knew he was there. There's not enough damage. I mean, at this point of the game, you can't really just initiate on Bristleback. Meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah, they're making a jump for Swindle Melons here. King RD running in at him, and they have the Ion Shell, and it just easily rips them down. They'll drop the wall for it too, and it will get SG pulled ahead now 5-2, and it will allow Tavo to get his first kill of the game.
And there was a huge stack there. It was like 3 stacks here and 2 on the other side. 2 sentries committed. They just wanted to clear that without being contested or just stealing the XP from the Riki. Top lane, Region being pinged out. Riki's gonna pick it up. Lina doesn't need it.
Regeneration.
Lina, Laguna ready. Making her way down the bottom lane. That seems like a cool place to start to get some action happening here. HFN still needs 30 seconds before that Shapeshift is going to be ready, and maybe Complexity know that. So they're looking to take a fight. A deep dive in from Moo. Looking to go on ADR. He's eating a lot of damage as the Quills begin to stack up. He turns back a bit, and now the move's been weighed. And it's going to be a quick Laguna blast onto Zac as he gets blasted down. The IO is going to be removed from this one. Demon over on the other side, though, gets caught with the stun and nuked apart. Double kill comes out for ADR. Lina begins to grow.
Yeah, they're being too aggressive, Complexity, judging by the levels on their heroes. I mean, it's Wisp who's level 4, Crystal Maiden who's level 4. They need just a little bit more time if they want to do it. I mean, they have Jakiro who's level 8, maxed Liquid Fire and Dual Breath.
HFN, can he make it away from trouble? Yes, had to go into the Shapeshift to run his ass out of there, but he will be safe. Makes it to the rest of the team, makes it to the Shrine, and if they want, could rotate themselves back towards this bottom lane to possibly take a fight. This is going to take a little bit of time here from Complexity if they're hoping to move in for a tier 1. King RD is already peppering him up a bit, maybe trying to bait him in and staying around. Complexity reinforcements are en route. They're about to have all 5 at attendance. The only one missing from this is going to be HFN, given that he already had to commit his Shapeshift. This one's more going to be on ADR and his Laguna to hit the hard damage.
They have good burst, but Warlock is level 4. He bought Tome of Knowledge, but he's not gonna get level 6 from that.
Would be great to have level 6 now, but the timing is just not there. And now Complexity thinking about making a move in. One Remnant forward, the second one will help him get close to Cat. Not chaining down that. There's going to be the chains connection, and he should be able to slowly burn him out. But no, King RD steps in, gets a smoke screen. Fearo's going to be caught all alone here. The rest of his team back in behind. Just leads to an easy Ember takedown. But they got that tier 1, I guess is what they're really in that lane investment for.
Once again, Complexity diving too much. SG saw that they can't contest on the bottom tower because there was no Warlock ulti, so they just moved instantly to mid, dealt some tower, and actually got a kill on Ember Spirit.
And it will be a Bloodstone build-up for your Lina, no surprise about that. And she is one to go for the Light Strike array damage in your first point, being able to kind of farm that much faster using just the 2 nukes to blast through the wave and get all that sweet money.
Yeah, well, if you decide to go for cast range, then items like Yule Scepter are really good for initiation. And but as you mentioned, the Dragon Slave and Light Strike Ray, you don't need to hit creeps 1 time extra. You just use it, and the whole creep wave is dead.
Swindle begins moving forward to start softening up the tower a bit with that level 4 Liquid Fire. I only noticed now that he didn't get any points at all into Ice Path. Do you think that that's okay, just putting the heavy investment into the Q and the E? Or would you like to see at least 1 value point in the Ice Path? It's a bit intriguing.
Well, he could get 1 point just to stop a stun, because they don't have anything besides Crystal Maiden and Ember Spirit, and it's really long range. But that spell is really kind of a late game spell. He doesn't need it early. He wanted to have as much damage as possible early game, especially for the laning phase. So it's really correct build.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense when it's not going to be finding a whole lot of use at this point in the game. Regardless, it's better to just get the most out of the 2 spells you know you're going to be blasting a lot of. Demon here, potential to kind of swing in from behind to go on to HFN. The relocate is also going to be coming. He goes for the shapeshift, but they connect with the frostbite. Can they burst him down before he's able to run out from trouble? Tricks of the trade's going to be committed. He tries to run, but he goes right through the path of fire and will get torched up. A follow-up takedown will also be there as they get a hold of a King RD. 2 frostbite plays right there for Demon, and a good setup overall for Complexity.
Yeah, nice movement for Demon. He went through the jungle, behind him, bite, instant relocate, and really good macro pyre, so Lycan couldn't really pass without dying there.
Warlock still not level 6, just about to get it, and we'll finally have the rock. It's just struggle right now. I hate when you're a support at this point and you just really want to have that level 6 for this next fight.
What is Jakiro building? He has a buckler, and that's it. Where's his mech?
Uh-oh. Demon's been spotted. He's able to pick up the bounty room, but will he make it out with his life? Certainly not. Vacuum
and there's that level 6 for Warlock.
Hell yeah. Rock is good to go, and they're pinging out towards the top lane here to possibly defend is Complexity. SG are already en route that direction. Now with that extra bit of ammunition to take a team fight in that chaotic offering, SG will welcome Complexity with open arms, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, they have mech on Darkseer, Rock ready, Lina ulti ready. They just want to take some towers right now. They feel a lot stronger. Yeah.
It's a good time to fight, but it's actually Complexity who are going to be possibly coming into a good opportunity as they've swarmed in onto 2. HFN and King RD once again could be caught out. The Rock will be committed, but it may be too late for this fight. Tavo also going to get quickly assaulted and taken apart. This turns into another 2-man drop. An unfortunate misfire with the Rock as it comes just a bit too late. Complexity find a good time to strike and go in.
Yeah, again with a good movement from Complexity there. They're just going around the tower. This is the second time on top and mid lane, and on the bottom lane they were doing the same action.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Frantic SG to kind of recover and possibly prepare for what could have been a heavier-handed push, but at this point, maybe Complexity could consider some different options, pushing out the side lanes a bit And then, you know, they have a decent Roche lineup. It is something they could consider in the near future, but I think getting Moo a bit more tankier would be very ideal. Looks like he already has that Solar Crest nearly complete. Just needs to get a little bit more farm time here in the top lane.
Yeah, that Solar Crest is gonna mean a lot against Lycan. Lycan decides to go for Echo Saber build. I think it's good when you're playing, have super free farm. Right now, maybe he needed to commit for a BKB, actually. They have so much magic damage. But if they win one team fight, that BKB is gonna come really close, and Echo Saber excels his farm, so...
Yeah, whenever he's able to get a hold of those supports, the Echo Saber will just allow him to chunk them down that much faster, but... As if he gets those opportunities to even do so and bring in that kind of money. I'm seeing some already wonderful wards come out, though, from Complexity there in the mid lane. But it's bottom lane where they're going to get the jump and quickly take down ADR, who is kind of up in arms a bit with the Ember. It just takes a swift relocate, and they take advantage in numbers here. King RD is nearby stalking things a bit, but he is a man alone here.
They really need to be careful around about that relocate place, especially with Ember Spirit, just using Fire Remnant in Searing Chains. It's a really good setup, so they need to stick together or have to be smoked behind like one hero who wants to be cocky, just try to bait it.
At the moment, Complexity feeling pretty good about their positioning and not worrying too much about kind of pushing the advantage of this game. That one seems to be more pressure on SG at the moment, as they're being under the watchful eye of Complexity, who I was kind of talking about a bit there. Lots of nice deep wards here. Maybe credit to Demon on that one, but they are able to kind of just see when SG are kind of at attendance in the lane, waiting behind any potential course farming, or when they know they can get some easy pickoffs with the benefit of that relocate. Which, 20 more seconds, they'll have another one available to go in case they want to kind of rinse and repeat.
So Ricky just saw Jakiro smoking, so they know it's either Roche or they're trying to make a move somewhere. So
they're around the Roche right now. It's actually SG who will also smoke themselves, and they're going to be rounding the corner here and possibly heading up through the Roche River. But it will be Complexity taking to the high ground and in a better position if SG were to approach. So this becomes a bit awkward. Curious to see. SG might just abandon this smoke idea and put all pressure onto the mid-tier 1 push. Looks like that will be the case. The glyph does come out, but Complexity will show themselves in the top lane.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And it looks like both teams will just kind of avoid each other a little bit for now. SG seeing if they can kind of draw Complexity back. I don't know how much of a base race these two teams want to kind of go through. One has Lycan, one has Jakiro. They both definitely have their pushing flavors, but it looks like SG are not going to test things too much longer and will evacuate. Ooh, tried to go for the chains play there, but did not quite get it.
Well, SG should be careful about trading the towers and split pushing because of Jakiro, and they have global presence with Ember Spirit Boots of Travel plus Relocate, and they don't have any catch. They have Lina Stun and Vacuum just for stopping the TPs. So they're not really mobile heroes until they get Shadow Blade or Blink. So their lineup is more like team fight oriented, especially when the Lycan gets his BKB. So I guess that's the timing they want to hit and try to get a fight near the Roche pit.
Yeah, we have not had confirmation if that is what he's building up for. He has a lot of money. Oh, other side, King RD might have walked himself up into a bit of trouble. Finds himself into a lot of wealth of Spirit Balls and Macro Pyre. Goes into Trickster Trade, tries to bail on out, but he gets hit with the chains, and now the rock comes down, but it's too late to save him. There's a nice ice path connecting onto 2 from Swindle with a dual breath. Makes it nice. The Laguna will be there to get the finish onto Z-Freak, but coL have already hit him very hard, working around the wall as best as possible. And new Fatal Bonds will be connected here, but Moo clubs it home onto ADR and will be able to get the finish. HFN should be next, and he is gone. Triple kill comes out for Moo. It is a Complexity 5-man takedown of SG Esports, and they look to follow it up with probably a Roche.
coL, their hero is Bristleback, and Jakiro are not getting any focus in team fights. Lycan wasted like 10 seconds trying to catch Wisp, who turned it back to Bristleback and just wasted his half of the shapeshift time. So, but I look at the build on Jakiro, like he's going all in tanky build. Like, he just finished the full mech and has full pipe.
He's a tonk. I mean, I don't know if you look at Jakiro in a fight and are typically like, oh yeah, that's a weaker support, I'll just kind of put all I got into, but he's able to kind of survive these long-winded fights, which, oh no, HFN! He just TP'd right into the middle of a whole lot of trouble and he goes down! 25 seconds, no buyback. Unfortunate misplays. Things are crumbling apart quite a bit here for SG. The Brazilians trying to make it back inside. And look at this, ADR tries to head south and he's not gonna make it out. Things go from bad to worse. Complexity just unloading a full can of whoop-ass here onto SG as one by one they will begin to go down. Cat hitting the waters here, trying to stay alive, but it will only get drowned. Mega kill for Firo, and this just got real ugly real fast.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, this is the same thing with TA. The way I feel about Bristleback is the same way about the TA. You get a good team fight, you go to Roche, you get Aegis on him, and then you just continue to dominate. It's just too much of a snowball from these two heroes.
Obviously with Aegis still hand, there's no reason for them to back off whatsoever. A couple of SG members are dead, but the second that a few of them are starting to come back, and I guess recognizing that they do have Rock coming up soon, Vacuum Wall good to go. Complexity don't want to risk handing anything over after taking away so much already.
Yeah, the Complexity will just play it safe, try to get few pickoffs with relocate. So there's what, 2 tier 2 towers left, and they can push it really slowly, and I don't think SG can even fight there before they get it. Lycan actually went for Deso first item, so she wants to kill people in 2 or 3 hits.
Looks like minor stalking here onto Firo, but nothing to come out of it, it looks like, at the time. He'll be able to head on back, and Complexity can kind of go down one of these other lanes and kind of pick up all the free money that's available to him. A tier 2 at the top lane, a tier 2 at the bottom lane. This will only accelerate things that much further. A 4K net worth advantage is what they're currently sporting after those 2 big team fights.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, Bristleback has 1K gold to get his Radiance up. Now it's 300 after getting that tower. Radiance plus Solar Crest against Lycan, and you can't hit. That's the thing. And he clears those illusions really fast from Darkseer Wall, and they also can't hit.
All right, we have a high ground push coming up from Complexity, and not all of SG are even at attendance for this one. HFN is actually just TPing in behind and near the shrine. Complexity are heading that direction. If he's not careful, he has no TP and could be caught far from his friends. King RD with the Ion Shell is stalking him slowly, but now they've spotted him. You do not want to be forced to use a shapeshift defensively this early in a pretty critical fight. Oh, Convenience says he does grab up an Invis rune, and it looks like he'll be able to use that to step off a bit. All right, steady as she goes here. Complexity going to be popping a smoke, and if they wanted to get anything done with the last moments of this Aegis, now is certainly the time. So what do? They begin to head back towards the direction of top. Tavo's here, and least suspecting of a possible gank. If he goes down, you're not going to be having a vacuum wall for your hideout in defense. Not unless you want to force a buyback, but he doesn't even have it. 45 seconds. He will not be there.
This is big, especially against Bristleback and Jakiro. They push so hard, so fast. Look at Bristleback, 300 damage.
Thugging away on that tier 3. Oh, poor little Lina just happened to walk in trying to defend. Now going to be forced to pop out the shrine. Turns back with the Dragon Slave, but can't seem to make it out. There goes the Macro Pyre, and she's suddenly gone. 40 seconds. We'll probably have to chew through a buyback now to just keep the team's head afloat. Tier 3 is going to be going down. They're looking to go for the racks too. Fatal Bonds has already been connected, but where is our mighty Rock? We're going to need to dish out something soon before you take too much catastrophic damage, and now they're going to be losing their prized Wolf on the back line, and before they can even drop the Rock, they're going to throw in the towel. This game 1 is over, and it belongs to Complexity.
Complexity, again, with the safe play. I mean, some teams, even from Tier 1 teams, could actually learn from Complexity, how they take it slow and take objectives, and they don't want to risk anything. They just take it slow, get Aegis, take Tier 2 towers, and then can go for a slow siege.
If you had to pick an MVP of this matchup, what would you pick for Game 1?
Game 1, I would say Demon for the early stage. He was so bad in a bad position against that Ricky, who was harassing him so much. But with those 2 or 3 wraparounds behind the towers and good wards, he manages to get back into the game. I mean, he didn't have any items, but his movement. He's the guy that's always in the trees, always making some fancy plays.
Yeah. And considering just how, I mean, if I was in that gameplay as Demon and that Ricky was giving me those kind of problems at the start, I would have probably just tilted out of the game altogether. But he's composed enough to stick around and is able to make that kind of early game impact and suddenly find themselves with a Complexity 1-game advantage. But folks, don't go away. We're going to be cutting to a small break, and when we come back, we're going to be heading down south to the Brazilian server, where it's going to be home court advantage, if you will, for SG Esports as they take on Complexity for game number 2. I'm Dakota, and that is Lacoste. We'll see you soon for more Summit 7 American Qualifier action.